What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on NIO stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on a price chart and how we get there. Then I will continue with the fundamental news, and I have to say that we have quite negative news for entire Chinese market. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis, and I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this very point, and I've told you that we have decent chances as long as this previous pivot holds. We have decent chances to hit high targets, and the main price target is right here at $16.99. And this is a setup with about 9.59 to 1 risk to reward ratio, with the downside potential of 7.66% and upside potential of more than 73%. Definitely this setup is quite lucrative, but I have to say that we have news that probably might drive the price of NIO lower. And definitely it implies more risk to this setup, and we have to be very cautious. So let's continue with the fundamental news and let me show you what I'm talking about. Definitely it is the China COVID-19 restrictions, and they have zero COVID-19 policy, and because of this policy there are a lot of protests against lockdowns in China, and we have the major news agencies that already covered this news. For example, New York Times covered this news just several hours ago. Next one, the Washington Post also made an article on this news, and BBC also posted some information about huge protests that are erupting in China. And that's why we have to be very cautious, because these protests are in Beijing and Shanghai area, and definitely it is the most the areas with the high density of population, and because of this a lot of plants are in this region, and definitely NIO plants are also in this region, and we have to be cautious because it might affect the ability of automakers to produce their vehicles in the most lucrative Q4 2022. So, and let me show you this article. We are on Seeking Alpha, and it was published on November 27th, and it says NIO, Beijing sends a message. And the summary is following. The resurgence of COVID-19 in the capital city of Beijing signals to investors that movement curbs in China are here to stay. This would undoubtedly negatively affect NIO's ability to create additional shareholder value, as its production facilities could be shut down at any time by the officials to contain the virus. Constant lockdowns, along with the need to reinvest the available resources into expansion, would continue to hamper NIO's ability to become profitable in the foreseeable future. And definitely this article is quite negative on NIO, but we have to know everything about the overall situation in China, because we have to make our own conclusion whether or not this asset is worth your attention in short-term, medium-term or long-term perspective. And let me show you another article. It is quite bullish article. It was published also on November 27th, and it says, I'm buying NIO shares as its growth enters a Tesla SQ phase. And Dr. James Fox explains why he's buying more NIO shares, with the stock trading for just $10 after a tough few months. And let me quote you this. Why I'd buy now? In the long run, I'm not too concerned about China's COVID policy. I'm hopeful that the government will continue to reduce restrictions over time, as is the case elsewhere in the world. And it's worth noting that NIO's performance has improved through a year as COVID restrictions were incrementally relaxed. And right here you can see that NIO is a quite stable and very promising company. They have a very good growth in revenue and in their sales. And because of this, fundamentally, we have no doubts that NIO is a very, very lucrative company. But the main downside of this company is that it is a Chinese company, and Chinese is a highly regulated market by Chinese Communist Party, and because of this we have a lot of restrictions that probably might be implemented in this industry in order to prevent some unnecessary results of COVID-19 policy, or probably like we can see with their fight against tech giants, they can just implement some restrictions in this area as well. So let me show you that from the fundamental standpoint, we don't have major news that probably might drive the price of NIO higher in the short term and medium term perspective. We have just several of them, that their supercharging network completes initial coverage of highway in Jilin, northeast China. And their phone project progressing well, as William Lee says. And basically that's it. We don't have any new major news that might drive the price of NIO higher in the short term and medium term perspective. But in the long term perspective, let me switch to this website. Right here you can see that Deutsche Bank on November 21st, and I covered it in my previous video, reiterated its price target from $20 to $21, and they set a buy rating on NIO with an upside potential of more than 109%. Definitely it is a good upside potential, and it is the first company that boosted its price target, and it is one of the major analytic firms in Europe and basically in the world. But let me show you another news. We are on fintel.io, and I ranked this list of shareholders by the number of shares, and at the top of this list you can see the biggest shareholders, the biggest NIO shareholders. And as you can see, BlackRock and Vanguard added its position by 1.17 and 2.22%. It is not the highest percentage. It is most likely the rebalancing of their portfolio. But the Goldman Sachs group, as you can see, added about 8.8%, and they own right now more than $509 million in value in NIO. And this means in the long-term perspective, I think we are more bullish than bearish, but in the short-term and medium-term perspective, we have to be very cautious. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, definitely we are still at the same price point where we were previously, and right now we have this rollover, and probably we might retest the range of $9.75, this previous swing low at the price point of at the range of about 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level, if I pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from recent swing low to recent swing high. And if this range breaks, we will retest this lowest point at $9.12. And because of this, you have to be very cautious, because on my previous video I've told you that you should put your stop loss right here, and it implies about I guess 7% of potential losses to this range, about 10% depending on your entry price if you ladder your buys down, and that's why we have to be very cautious. So what should you do if you want to enter the position? Definitely we have two options. First of all, if you are a long-term holder and if you've already done your own due diligence, and if you believe that the upcoming years will be very lucrative for NIO as one of the major automakers, definitely you can add your position. You can add to your position on every daily red candle. But if you're a swing trader, you have to see more confirmation from the market. And this confirmation will be the higher highs and higher lows with an increasing volume. And as long as we don't have this pattern yet, we have to rely only on the major key points. And the key points, as I already mentioned, are following: $9.75 and $9.12, and these ranges should hold in order to remain bullish. On top of that, we have to break this previous swing high at $12.13 in order to confirm the higher highs and higher lows. Only in this case, on the retracement, you will be able to re-enter your short-term and medium-term position. So, I think from the technical standpoint that's it for now. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap, only got